It's fall and I love meal prep, so why not a fall meal prep video? Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, back to share another meal prep video with you guys. So last time I did a meal prep video, you guys all commented and said you would love to see more of them. So I decided to film another one, and I decided to film it all fall themed. I thought it would be super fun. Now I didn't structure this video like I did the last time where I did it day to day over a week's time. It's what I've done over the last couple of weeks that were fall themed, whether it be in prep for Halloween or just something fun for my kiddos. But once I decided to do another meal prep video, of course I had to reach out to my friend Jennifer Chapin here on YouTube. So if you love meal prep and you are not already subscribed to her channel, you are missing out. You guys, she is like the queen of meal prep, and I totally enjoy watching her videos. She is so good at editing. Her kitchen is light and bright, so it makes for great videos. She can hold her own in the kitchen. Like, she can pretty much cook anything. She loves to cook healthy, but she also likes to do fun stuff for her kids too, and she tries to do low carb during the week, so she has a wide variety of things that she cooks on her channel. And you guys, she is just blowing up. She just hit 20,000 subscribers, and she's only really started to pull these kind of videos out this year. She has a love for scrapbooking, and that's what her channel was prior to this year. But in this year alone, she has just catapulted, because once you stop on her channel, you just don't leave. So I will leave all of her information on the end slate and in the description box. If you're not already subscribed to her, go and check her out and show her some love. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. But for now, I'm going to take you down into the kitchen and show you what I've prepared. Now, I had a huge list and so many things that I wanted to do, and I just didn't get it done. I've been working really hard on the cookbook for the last couple of weeks, and I have my parents in from out of town, so it was a lot of prep for that. So I have decided that I'm going to do a fall meal prep part 2. So if you guys like this video, stay tuned, because there will be another one coming up super soon. So for now, let me show you what I've been doing in my kitchen for the last couple of weeks. Okay, so first up is this pumpkin pancake and waffle mix from Trader Joe's. I absolutely love this stuff so much. You guys are going to see it in a little bit in a later clip. But as a family, we generally do a large breakfast once a week. And each week I'll rotate something out. One week we'll do pancakes, one week we'll do waffles, French toast, etc. And by doing a double batch once a week, it sets me up with that item frozen in the freezer for the rest of the month. So on this particular day, we are choosing to follow the directions to make the pancake mix. We were literally down to just 2 frozen pancakes in the freezer, so this worked out perfect. And I have fallen in love with this stuff. I have gotten it before in the past years, but every time I get it, I'm reminded why we like it so much. After you mix all of the ingredients together, which is just eggs, milk, and melted butter, once you mix all the ingredients together and you let the pancake mix sit for a while, it aerates so much that they bake up so fluffy, like the fluffiest pancakes I've ever made, which is amazing because I could never pull off a fluffy pancake. Now let me just stop for a second and let's talk about these pans. These are the Copper Chef pans that I received for Christmas a couple of years ago, and they are so amazing that I asked for more this past Christmas, and there are a few more pieces that I'm asking for this Christmas. They are featured in every cooking video that I have put out at this point because they are amazing. I put a little bit of butter in the pan, but you don't even have to. It even says in the directions, no butter, no oil needed. They are amazing. This is not a sponsored video, but I will stand here and attest to how amazing that these Copper Chef pans are. And if you haven't tried one and you're looking for a good pan, it is worth the investment, and they're not that expensive. So after the double batch, I ended up getting 2 plates of pancakes, one that we're going to eat on that night for dinner, and the backup one that we're going to freeze in the freezer. I also left my family's syrup out here on the counter just to show you guys. This is my family's syrup company, and every time I have the bottle out, you guys always mention it. So I want to show you the label, so if you want to screenshot it so that you can check them out for yourself. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Their syrup is bomb. Once we were done eating for the night, I packed up all of the pancakes in a freezer bag. I actually reuse the same freezer bag all the time until it's non-usable anymore. So those are the last of the 2 pancakes we had. I put them on top. You can definitely tell the difference between plain and pumpkin. So I'll use the plain ones first. And then I took the rest of what we were eating on for dinner and I put it in another sandwich bag. And that's just going to go in the refrigerator for us to eat on for another breakfast or another go-to meal during the week, and then the rest I freeze. So next up is bacon, and of course if you're having any kind of breakfast for dinner, it's got to be coupled with bacon, right? But that's why I love doing breakfast for dinner every Monday, because it allows me to cook bacon up, a pound of it, and eat on it all week for sandwiches, for salads. We don't ever eat a pound of bacon as a family for a breakfast. So by doing this on a Monday, it allows me to utilize all the extras for the rest of the week. I don't know about you guys, but I love cooking my bacon in the oven. I cook it at like 325, like very low and slow. And by doing that, 20-25 minutes, the pieces just come out so crispy. It's such easy cleanup because it's all in one pan. I love cooking bacon like this. And now here are the rest of the pieces that we didn't use for dinner. So I'm just wrapping them in a paper towel to absorb any of the extra grease. And these are actually my reusable bags that I get from Grove. These things are amazing, you guys. Like, I love them. They come in a 3-pack, like a large, a medium, and a small. Absolutely perfect, super versatile. Check them out on Grove if you have not. You will not be disappointed. So next up, ironically, just happens to be another breakfast, but these are the pumpkin cinnamon rolls that I got from Trader Joe's. These things are so good, you guys. Like, Trader Joe's really has such an amazing variety of wonderful pumpkin things, which is why I get obsessed with them during this time of year, and I constantly restock on their items because nobody really has the kind of variety that they have. These cinnamon rolls were so good. It only comes with 5, and they were a little weird. I had to like cut through them. They weren't separated completely, but they went in the oven for 20 minutes and they came out perfect. I mean, that was literally the perfect time. Like, the cinnamon rolls were just amazing. And it came with this pumpkin spice icing, which I feel like was perfect for elevating another level of cinnamon roll. It just wasn't that plain old regular sweet icing. It was kind of heartier because it was pumpkin spice, so it was super good. Really, really good. I'm hoping that the next time I go back, they still have them, because I think I may overdo it on the pumpkin stuff next month, knowing that by the time I go back in December, it's going to be all Christmas and pumpkin will be null and void. Delicious, you guys. That just made me so hungry. So next up is some pumpkin quesadillas. The kids were actually doing this for lunch one day, so I decided to meal prep a little bit further and plan out for the week of Halloween something else for them to have for lunch. I'm going to make a statement right now. Never once did I ever say that I was any kind of artist or good at drawing or anything like this. These pumpkins came out looking kind of jacked up a little bit for a jack-o'-lantern, no pun intended, but I don't really think my kids are going to care too much. At the end of the day, you get the concept. My kids absolutely loved it, and it was still enjoyable for them, but like I said, definitely no artist. You really could change it up. You could do whatever. If you are more talented doing things like this, you really could change up whatever you want to put in the quesadilla. But the part that I liked the most is putting the orange cheese in between, because when it melted, it popped up through the jack-o'-lantern face, and like I said, my kids were ecstatic about it. So I made a couple of them for lunch that day, and then I ended up freezing the rest. So once I was all finished and I layered everything with cheese, I just ended up putting them on a sheet pan with a couple pieces of parchment paper and dropping them in my deep freezer. And once they got completely frozen, I was able to just slide them in a sandwich bag and put them away for Halloween week. FYI, these froze up so perfectly. I will make a suggestion though. When I took them out of the freezer, I left them on the countertop for a minute before I put them into the pan. And I have to be honest with you, they started to defrost really quickly. And once they defrost, they're not as maneuverable into the bag, because these are the big burrito style burritos that I get from BJ's. They are literally the size of a gallon size sandwich bag. So it is a perfect fit. So in order to get it into the bag the way you would like to, you really need to make sure that it is fully frozen. So now I want to start some eggs in my pressure cooker. I don't have an Instapot, I have a Kasori, but it's the same concept and it is an amazing device. So if you don't have one, I will link one below if you want to check it out. I'll link anything below in the description box that you might want to check out, but this thing is amazing. I would never go through life without a pressure cooker again. And I actually learned and tried this method from Jennifer herself. She did the 5-5-5 method, which was 5 minutes in the pressure cooker, 5 minutes on manual release, and then 5 minutes in an ice bath. So I set those for 5 minutes, and now while that's going, I'm going to make some Rice Krispie treats. So I got the pumpkin spice marshmallows from the Dollar Tree, and I thought that would be a really nice touch to a Rice Krispie treat. So I melted the 1 stick of butter, and then I mixed the marshmallows and the butter all up. Normally for regular marshmallows, they would just melt in that really hot butter, but the pumpkin spice marshmallows, for some reason, it needed another zap in the microwave. So I put the whole bowl back in the microwave for a minute and then gave it a good stir. And once everything was all melty, I added the Rice Krispies. And this was a huge box that I got. They substituted it for me from the Walmart grocery pickup. So I had way more than I needed and I didn't measure it out. So I just literally kept pouring cereal in until I thought I reached a good consistency. Now, being that Rice Krispie treats are like a third butter, you don't need to grease the bottom of a pan. So I just got a glass 9x13 pan, and it was the perfect amount. I was able to fill the entire pan with these Rice Krispie treats. And then I thought I had some Halloween sprinkles. I was a little disappointed that my pantry was lacking, but I did find some Reese's Pieces, the small mini ones, and I thought that was perfect fall colors, so I threw those on top. I made sure to push them down a little bit so when we cut them they didn't fall off, and then I threw that in the refrigerator to gel up a little bit. Working on those Rice Krispie treats, I went over by 2 minutes, but I made sure that I manually released the pressure after those 5 minutes and threw some ice in a bucket of water. And now I'm just removing the eggs with tongs, and I'm going to put them in the cold water for 5 minutes. Once the 5 minutes is up, I took the eggs out and just put them on a paper towel to dry. And once they're all dry, I'm just going to add them to a bowl, and we're going to put them in the refrigerator to eat on for the week. So there are my dry eggs. and my cut up Rice Krispie treats. So we snacked on those for dessert, and then now they're in the cabinet for the week of Halloween. My parents are coming in from out of town, and I thought that a nice warm smelling pot roast would be amazing after coming in from a long trip and coming into a house that smelled good and yummy. So this is the Cabernet pot roast I get from Trader Joe's. This is the best pot roast I've ever gotten in my life. It is super expensive, but it's delicious. So I put that in the pan, and you don't need to season much because it's already marinated. I did throw in some onion and some chopped garlic, and then I added meat water. Every time I make a pot roast, when I'm done cooking in it, I freeze the rest of the water that's in the crock pot so that when I make things like this, it's almost like having homemade broth. So I added that and filled it with water 2 more times, put the lid on and set it on low, and I let this baby cook for 8 hours. It was delicious. So here's that pumpkin pancake and waffle mix again from Trader Joe's, but this time we're doing waffles. So this is a whole week later. We had 0 waffles in the freezer. So I decided to make the pumpkin mix again since I had another box. I will have to say it is, in my opinion, that the recipe on the back of the box is best suited for pancakes. They have a separate recipe for waffles, which is what I followed, but I feel like the mix itself, at least for my kind of waffle maker, did not hold up. So this is a Mickey Mouse waffle maker. Again, I'll link it below if you guys are interested in checking it out. But I got this for Christmas a couple of years ago. It was like one of those things that was sold at CVS that goes on sale after the Christmas season, and it was marked down tremendously. I mean, look how cute they come out. They're adorable. The only thing about this mix is that it gets, like I said, super aerated and fluffy, and it was so fluffy that the ears had a hard time staying on. I think it would work better in a regular waffle iron, but for what I have, I just don't think that this particular mix was best suited. This is something else I'll link below because these things are life-changing if you love meal prep. It is a large storage bag holder that holds your bag open while you're loading in your food. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, the ears were floppy, so I ended up pushing it off to the side and just loading it in the bag because the ears were starting to break off standing up like that. If I were to make or use regular mix, they're usually stiffer, and that doesn't happen. So I just made a mental note and wrote it down in my meal planner that the pumpkin waffle mix is better suited for pancakes. So lastly, but certainly not least, I have something really fun to show you. I was really excited about this, and it's probably my favorite part of this video, but I wanted to do something really fun with watermelon. My kids absolutely love watermelon. It's their favorite fruit. If I cut up an entire watermelon and let them eat it in one sitting, they would. So I had received these little mini cookie cutters for my wedding. I had a fall wedding, and I received a lot of fall themed items for my bridal shower. So when I received these little mini cookie cutters, they've literally sat in the drawer for years because I never knew what to do with them. Like, who would make little tiny cookies this size? But since joining YouTube and watching a lot of videos and moms that do cute little things in their children's lunch boxes, so many moms use cookie cutters and use it to cut fruit and vegetables. I thought that was such a great idea. So when I was putting together ideas for this fall themed meal prep video, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try those little cookie cutters, and I'm going to try and cut the kids up some watermelon with it. It really did work out great, but this was my first time doing it, so I learned some things along the way. So if this is something you're going to do, I definitely would suggest maybe cutting the slices of watermelon a little bit smaller. The smaller slices worked so much better. Now this came with 6 different kinds. It was 3 leaves, a pumpkin, an acorn, and an apple. So I had about 6 large slices and 2 small slices. So I pretty much got one kind of shape out of each ring of watermelon, but the kids had so much fun eating these and playing with the shapes. And it was unbelievable to me how something simple like cutting your fruit in shapes like made the kids' day. So I was really excited about doing this, and definitely something I will do again in the future. My littles don't go to school just yet, just my oldest, so I really can't do this for a 14-year-old, but once the littles go to school, they are going to have lunch boxes filled with Pinterest and YouTube mom ideas, because this was so much fun. And to see my kids' faces over something so simple was really awesome. Now, I did end up going back later and taking all of the rings and taking the leftover watermelon out and putting it in a bowl, so the kids were still able to eat all the little guts and there was no waste. But we don't waste watermelon in this house because, like I said, by far it is our favorite fruit. And that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. I did take a few of the pieces, one of each kind, and put it here on the white plate just so you guys can get a real view of what each one looked like. And then that was all the leftovers in the bowl. But the kids loved it. I loved doing it. It was super fun, and I'm so glad I did it. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you are from Jen's channel, thanks so much for stopping over. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy my channel and you decide to stick around. For everybody else, guys, you know I love you so much. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.